we have, all right, we have 6:30, and we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Delighted to see everybody here tonight, and so we are going to start with the pledge. And I think, Dr. Archibald, you have some folks that would like to lead us.
Thank you. We have some fabulous fifth graders that are here with us this evening who will be doing a presentation in just a little while for you guys. Can't wait for you to see that. But in the meantime, they're going to lead us in the pledge. And so guys, we're going to turn and face this way.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You'll get to meet them and learn a little bit more about them in just a short while.
Thank you, we appreciate that. All right, we need to look at the approval of our agenda. Do we have any changes that we need to make at this time?
And I'd just like to change resignation / termination so that include resignations and terminations.
Okay.
Personnel list.
On personnel list, just, excuse me, add terminations, resignations / terminations.
Correct, not just resignations.
Okay. All right. Terminations, yes, yes. All right, hearing that, do I have a motion that we approve our agenda for tonight?
So moved.
Okay, and a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, and we will turn over to Dr. Howard for her superintendent.
Very good. Thank you, Ms. Wheeler, and to our board. I want to send a very special thank you to Maysville Elementary School. It is always a pleasure to visit this sweet school, and we are glad to be here again this year. We've got lots to celebrate. I'd like to just highlight a few things that happened today. I want to remind you, if you didn't already know, that our kids spent last week on a winter break, the first one we've had, and saw lots of good coverage of some great learning that took place outside of school. So thank you for sharing those and taking opportunities to enjoy family time. We came back today with teachers and had some great professional learning, and our student leadership team met and had some great learning as well. So we had a really, really good day today. And I just wanted to update the board and let them know the board had a training with the Empower College and Career Board back on February the 7th. With the Empower Board as well as our local board. It was a great training, and we've received about 33 applications for the CEO position. So we'll be working really hard to move forward with selecting an outstanding CEO and hope that we have a name to bring you in the next couple of months. But that's something very exciting on the horizon as we prepare for future opportunities for our students. So on our agenda items there, you'll see the first one is just a reminder for our board as well as our community that we have a 5-year accreditation visit that begins on March the 3rd. So we will have had that accreditation visit next time we meet. They will have come and gone. So that's March 3rd through the 6th. And the next item on the agenda, I'm going to ask Ms. Laura Boswell to come up front, if she would please, because this is a really exciting recognition. And as she's coming to the front, let me just tell you that we are going to highlight Maysville. We saved Maysville for the very end, and we're excited to hear about the great things these kiddos have been performing. But normally we do them at the front, the beginning, but we save the best for last. How about that? So, Ms. Boswell, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. I don't think I need a microphone. I will use my teacher voice. Can y'all hear me? Everybody hear me? Good. I'm Laura Boswell, and I'm the Work-Based Learning Coordinator for Jackson County School System. And I am going to have the pleasure tonight of introducing 2 wonderful work-based learning mentors. 5 years ago, Kathy and Kevin Lindberg contacted the work-based learning program, and they would like to have a student so that they could teach them workplace ethics and skills and just overall good work behavior. And they have had a student every year for the last 5 years. Some work out, some don't work out. We move forward and choose a different one that's going to work there. But they have helped develop these students with discovering and developing their workplace skills, mentoring them, giving them career guidance, workplace guidance, and they have just been awesome mentors. And I just found it fitting to nominate them for the ACT, which is the American College Testing Workforce Champion Award. And they won for the whole state of Georgia. And I'm so proud to have developed this partnership, and they're great friends too. And they have just been awesome. Kathy is so active with our community, and she is also a stakeholder for Board of Director for our College and Career Academy. And I'm just so proud of the partnership that we've developed along the way. And Kathy would like to say something. Kathy
And I'll keep this very short and sweet. It is a privilege. When she contacted us in the fall and said, "I've nominated you," and she told me what it was, I was like, yay! I just thought Jackson County, because I think Jackson County's great. And then when we got the email a few weeks ago that we had won for the state of Georgia, I about fell out of my chair. I was like, whoa, she must have really put an accolade in there. So we're excited. I am part of the Empower College and Career Academy that's coming to Jackson County. My husband Kevin and I have been working alongside the schools for a very long time, all the athletic directors, and we do a lot in the schools. Some things people know we do, and some things they don't realize that we do. But we bring the students in for that purpose, to find out what their direction is. Where do they want to go when they get out of school? And sometimes they don't know anything about graphic design, and other times they think they know and they really don't. So they're getting an education, they're getting some customer service skills, and they're just dealing with the public. So we enjoy mentoring them and training them and working alongside. Usually when they graduate, they still stay with us. They don't want to leave. So we have a UNG person now, and then our work-based learning for this year, she's already said, I'm staying with y'all when I go to UNG, so we let them stay until they can't do it. We have a UGA student that's graduating this year, and she's in the Grady School of Journalism, and she also has marketing. So we teach them what we can, and then we send them on their way if they have to go, but if they want to stay, we'll let them stay too. So, thank you.
I would like to extend a very, very special thank you. That is one of the most deserving awards that I could ever imagine. Kathy is one of the most diligent, and her husband too, sorry about that. You're both very, but Kathy serves on the College and Career Academy Board, as Ms. Boswell referenced. And you talk about a cheerleader and a person who has energy, but most importantly, she believes in our kids, and she wants to provide opportunity for them. And so I am very, very grateful for what you bring to our community. What a wonderful, wonderful blessing you are, and a great partnership for our schools. All right, at this time I'd like to ask Dr. Jones, who I believe I did see in the audience. We're going to recognize our Rotary student and Rotary teacher for this month at each of our high schools. So we'll start with Jackson County High School.
Well, good evening. I also want to thank Kathy and her group for supporting our school so much. We have a lot of your signage around our school, and I'll never forget you printing graduation tickets last year on the last moment. So the day of, yes. So Mother Nature did not cooperate, and we were rescued, so we appreciate you very much. It's my honor and privilege tonight to introduce to you our Rotary student of the month, Ms. J.C. Ponce. So if you'll come on up here. A special thank you to JC's parents here in the back there for raising such a wonderful child, and we really appreciate her very much. She's the epitome of a Jackson County special kid that's going to go on and do special things. Oftentimes we talk a little bit about how they we've got great kids here, and she's like the epitome of that. So she chose Mr. Wayne Brooks as her most influential teacher. So Mr. Brooks, if you'll come on up here, please. And we'll learn a little bit why she chose him in just a moment, but I want to speak a little bit to JC's accolades. I know her pretty well because she's the face of our counseling office. She's often sitting in there she's a work-based learning student, and she works in there and helps them out, and there's always a smiling face whenever I go in there, and I always say good morning, good afternoon, whenever she's in there, so it's always a pleasure to run into her, and it just puts a smile on my face. She's taken a nice balanced course load. She's challenging herself, and like I said, she's also involved in work-based learning. But she's taking Writer's Workshop, Drawing and Painting 2, AP Government, Human Anatomy Honors, AP Calculus. So she's definitely got a good balance of academics and then good experiences. She's also very involved in our school. She's a runner, cross country and track and field. She's a wrestling manager. She's the vice president of our newly founded Key Club, which is the service organization at our school. It's been very busy this year. She's a senior class representative. She's a member of our Beta Club, National Spanish Honor Society, and our Extra Special People Club, which is also new this year, which is a really awesome experience. She's won several different awards and honors, including named the most valuable runner for cross country, junior and senior. Coach's Award for cross country in sophomore year, most valuable distance runner for track in the freshman year. She's been a scholar athlete for 3 years, so she's balancing academics and athletics. And she was also named player of the year for softball in the freshman year. So definitely a very talented young lady, both academically and in her extracurriculars. And so I want to take a moment and turn the mic over to her so she can talk a little bit about why she chose Mr. Brooks and then what she plans on doing after high school.
All right, so I chose Mr. Brooks as my most influential teacher because I actually had him for 2 years, and in both the years I had him in his class, he always pushed me and made me strive to be a better writer and really learn about the literature and what we were learning about. And he just always pushed me to be my best, and I think that's why I'm good at what I do, because I was not a very good writer before I had him. So, and then after I graduate, I'm going to go to Piedmont College, and I'm going to run cross country and track there.
Congratulations, Nancy. We're proud of you, and thank you, Mr. Brooks, for the influence that you've had.
Congratulations to both of you, and I think you have parents here. We want to thank you for sharing your gift with us on a daily basis, and congratulations, JC. Ms. Palmer is here, and if Ms. Palmer will come forward.
If the board approves, we will recognize Gracie Wilbur next month.
Okay.
Because Gracie is our student. However, she earned early acceptance to Georgia Tech, and she is at their orientation right now. She's going to try to make it back in time, but I take it that Atlanta traffic may have been a little more than she had anticipated. So if that's okay, we'll just recognize her next month.
We don't want to miss that recognition. I think that's a great honor. We're familiar with her and are very proud of her accomplishments. She's a great kid, so we'll look forward to seeing her next month then. All right, so congratulations, and at this time I'd like to ask Dr. Blankenship, I know I say she is, she's back there. She's got 2 awards that she's going to present. The first one is a Service Recognition Award for some very, very special former employees, but I'm going to bring this to you because I'm sure you can yell, but this makes it easier.
It does, and it's been a busy day, so I'm not quite sure how far my voice will carry. So this is one of the most exciting recognitions that I think that we can do. And I'm going to ask Mr. Farmer to come up, as well as Katie and Melvin Brock, who we are going to recognize tonight. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this recognition, and then Mr. Farmer is going to tell you a little bit about Mr. and Ms. Brock. And so this recognition is based on years of service. Several years ago, we were trying to think of ways that we could honor our longstanding employees who come to work every day, who rarely, if ever, take a sick day, and are always here for our students. We have 2 different types of retirement systems in our system. We have teachers' retirement system, which many employees fall under, and then we have the public service employees retirement system, which other groups of our employees fall under. There's a difference between the 2 right now, and who knows what will happen when the state legislature finishes their work this year, but right now, PSERS employees are not allowed to count their sick leave towards retirement, so they can't bank that as teachers' retirement system employees can. So we said, you know, as a system, we value those employees as much as we value any others, and so let's find a way that we can recognize them for their hard-earned years of service and their dedication and sacrifice to being here every single day, even when they may not feel like it sometimes. And so we developed a way that we would reward them for their sick leave when they have a number of years of service and are leaving. And so I am proud to present them with their checks, so to speak, for their years of service, and it's actually for their sick days. So they had, and I should have looked this up, but maybe Mr. Farmer remembers, but they had the maximum number of sick days that you could make, and you'll see that in just a moment. A lot, a lot. So, but before we share their checks with them, I want Mr. Farmer to just say a few words about Mr. and Ms. Brock.
Thank you, Dr. Blankenship. Thank you, Board. I just want to say that when they came to me and told me they were going to retire this year, I thought, okay, I've got till the end of the year to prepare for that. No, they said, no, you don't understand. We're going to retire in December. And I'm like, no, that's really not conducive to what we need to do. We need you to go ahead and finish the year. Because I thought I'd have enough time to talk them in and stay in another year. But these two individuals, husband and wife, have been married a long time. And their dedication to us is in the fact that Mr. Melvin's been here 24 years and Miss Katie 21 years. So I greatly appreciate their dedication to Jackson County. In fact, they've outlasted retirement of 2 directors, and they were on their 3rd one. But I'm very appreciative of everything they do. The one thing I want to say about them is the fact that when you don't hear them on the radio, which was hardly ever, you knew they were there, because they were there every morning and every afternoon. If something happened, Miss Katie would say, I got it, I'll take care of Mr. Melvin's route, or vice versa. The only time I did see them pretty much is when they came in to service their bus once a month. Miss Katie would come in, she'd say hello, Mr. Melvin would come in. The one thing about Mr. Melvin and Miss Katie, they worked outside of the transportation department. But the one thing that they did keep was the work ethic. And that is hard to find these days. And that is what I miss the most with their performance and the job that they did. They took care of our kids. In fact, I remember Miss Katie telling me when she retired, she said, you know, I've hauled these babies, and that's what she called them, her babies. She hauled them from the time they started pre-K until they graduated. And so that to me says something. And although this is a small token of what we're going to present of our appreciation, I just want to say thank you on behalf of everyone in Jackson County, our board, our superintendent, for your service, for your dedication. And the one thing I'm going to say too, when I first came aboard, they were one of the first 2 people that came up, gave me a hug, welcomed me, and said, you have our support, but you'll never hear from us. That is sometimes rewarding in itself. But thank you. You guys have been wonderful. And I wish you the best in your retirement. We all hope we get there one day. But we hope that this is just a small token to give you guys a piece of the appreciation that we have for you.
Thank you, Mr. Farmer. I echo what Mr. Farmer said, and numbers on a check can never really tell the full value that you have brought to our school system. And so we are very, very appreciative of that. And so without further ado, Mr. Brock gets a check for $6,750. And not to be outdone, Mrs. Brock also gets a check for $6,750. And again, this is based on the number of unused sick days that they had, and I want to say it was over 6 months of unused sick leave that they had accumulated. So.
And that takes a while to attain.
And a day a month.
And the great thing about it is, I hope Mr. Melvin and Miss Katie will let you keep some of that money.
Thank you both so much. recognitions we have are our Excellence in Service Awards, and I am delighted this month to recognize 2 volunteers in our school system. We have Miss Frances Ely, who is a volunteer here at Maysville Elementary, and this is what her nominator, who wished to remain anonymous, had to say about her. So Miss Ely, if you'll come on up. And I'm sure the board would like to thank your hand, but you come stand right here so I can say some nice things about you. Her nominator said, "There is no limit to what this wonderful lady will do." Really, I mean no limit. She volunteered all summer to work with students who needed help academically. This school year, she has volunteered as a mentor in the classroom, for cooking club, bought coats and shoes, and the list goes on. 300 words, that's the limit on our nomination, by the way, will simply not allow me to list all this sweet lady does. Please consider recognizing this very special volunteer. And just in a few short minutes, I found out that Ms. Ely doesn't have children or grandchildren here. She has been volunteering here for about 3 years and has been a great champion of trying to bring more mentors into Maysville. And that is something that is desperately needed in all of our schools, and we just really, really appreciate you. So we have just a small token of appreciation. A certificate and then a gold star. So thank you so much.
I would just like to say that more people need to realize these children are investment in our future. And I can't tell anybody that you couldn't pay me for the love that I get from these children, and even from kids I don't work with. I come in around lunchtime and I get more hugs, more love than I've ever gotten from anybody else, even in my own family. And I've been here in Jackson County 6 years. I even rescue dogs and cats. And I feed the deer in my woods too, so that nobody will shoot them. You know? So it's a blessing to me to be here, and I wish I could get more to understand just how much love these children give you with nothing that they expect back from you. And thank you.
Well, you are a treasure. Our next award goes to another volunteer at West Jackson Elementary School, and his nominator wished to remain anonymous as well. So Mr. Phillips, if you will come up and join us, and I'll say a few nice things about you too. This is what Mr. Phillips' nominator had to say. At WJES, we strive to provide a remarkable student experience. We aim to provide experiences that engage learners in authentic and student-driven learning. In this, we often transform classrooms for project-based learning days. These days would not be possible without Phipps and his willingness to hunt and gather random lists of supplies, prepare materials, and help to see projects into fruition. Additionally, Phipps has partnered with Mr. Knupp to implement the ProDads program at our school. For these reasons and many more, Phipps Phillips should be considered for recognition as an unsung hero. His efforts undeniably support the vision, mission, and guiding principles of the Jackson County school system. And I would say that they do. Thank you so much for your service. Certificate and a gold star. Thank you so much. Thank you, board.
Thank you, Dr. Blankenship. Some really special recognitions, and I hope Katie and Melvin didn't sneak out. I hope they're not hiding. Are they hiding? Good. I want to say a very special thank you to them and all of the recipients. Ms. Ely, thank you. Mr. Phillips back there, thank you. Your investment makes a much greater difference than you realize, and we are truly, truly grateful, for sure. Yours probably greater than some of us here. At this time, one of the most exciting parts of the evening is to celebrate all the outstanding events that are taking place here at Maysville. And as Dr. Archibald comes to the front, those of you who don't attend our board meetings all the time, we take pleasure in being able to visit each of our schools during the year. So our board made a conscious decision, instead of staying in one place, we go out to the schools, and we get to come to Maysville once a year, and we get to highlight what's happening in each of the schools we visit. So appreciate the board being here and being proud of the work that's happening, and I'm exceptionally proud of the work that's that's happening at Maysville Elementary School. So Dr. Archibald, I'll turn it over to you and you tell us what to do. Does our board need to sit over there? I kind of thought that might be the case.
Thank you. As our board makes their way over here, we're just delighted to have our Jackson County community here with us at Maysville. I know that it's gotten dark outside, but guys, isn't it just the most beautiful drive on the way out here to Maysville? It's just an amazing place, and we're delighted to have all of you here with us this evening. We've got two things that we'd like to present to you this evening. One is our new social emotional learning curriculum that we're using this year called 7 Mindsets. And I've got two adults that are in our building that are gonna come over and share about that. It's exciting work, and even more exciting after that, we've got some 5th graders that are gonna come and share some career projects that are ongoing, and I know you're gonna be delighted to hear those things as well. And so I'm gonna turn things over now to Miss Rebecca Grogan, our assistant principal, and Miss Gay Chandler, our Title I and interventionist teacher for K2, and they're gonna share a little bit about the 7 Mindsets with you.
Hello, we're so excited to share about the 7 Mindsets curriculum. Last year about this time, we began looking for ways to meet the social emotional needs of our students here at Maysville. And we, after talking with district leaders and some other schools around us that were already implementing the 7 Mindsets, we decided that this was the curriculum we needed to go with. A little bit about the 7 Mindsets founders. They did a lot of research on successful, happy individuals throughout history, which included some philosophers, some famous people, some inventors. And they found that they all shared the same 7 common mindsets. And so our school was really interested, and we implemented the program school-wide beginning in July with professional development. And during this professional development, we had a brief overview of each of the mindsets and proceeded with training with the use of the online portal. We have continued with that professional development. With each month, we have a book study with the text from the 7 Mindsets, and we do this book study with our paraprofessionals and also with our grade level teams. Students and teachers both look forward to our Mindset Mondays when teachers share the curriculum with the students using the online portal. And we found that this complements our positive behavior intervention system very well. And so we were happy that it marries well with what we're trying to do there. And we also discovered that the 7 Mindsets fits very well with our whole child philosophy here at Maysville. We want our students, our faculty, and our staff to continue to grow as successful, happy individuals. We've also included a video that will share a little bit more about each of the mindsets.
Do you ever wonder why some people are so happy while many others seem to struggle? Why do some have so many friends while others have few or none? Why do some people achieve great success while others never seem to get very far or do the things they wish they could? Do you want to live a happy and successful life? Do you want to pursue goals you're passionate about? Find a job you love, spend time with people you like, and make a difference in the lives of others? We all do. So if everyone wants these same things, to be happy and successful on their own terms, why do so few people accomplish this? That's what we wanted to know. So we asked the question, what do we all need to be truly happy? It took many years, but we figured it out. And the answer was quite a surprise. It's not about where we come from. It's not about who we know. It's not even about what we know. It's about how we think. It's our mindsets that make all the difference in creating happiness. We discovered that there are 7 mindsets essential for happiness and success. Not everyone has them all, but the more someone has, the happier and more successful they'll be. Everything is possible. We all have the ability to live extraordinary lives. You must see, believe, and have the courage to go after what you want. Passion first. You must pursue the things in life that you love. Your goals must be authentic and true to who you are. We are connected. The fastest path to happiness and success is through others. Embrace everyone. Find ways to work together and support one another. 100% accountable. Happiness and success comes to those who own their lives. Only you have control of your life. You'll have what you desire if you're willing to grow and do what's needed to get there. Attitude of gratitude. If we focus on what we don't have, we'll always struggle and suffer. Focus on what you're thankful for, and gratitude will be the foundation for more good things. Live to give. You'll get everything you want out of life. If you're willing to help others get what they want first, always seek ways to serve and give to others. The time is now. All your power is in this moment. Don't focus on the past. Stop worrying about the future. You have the ability to do something immediately. So take action with purpose to get what you want in life, starting right now. If we change how we see our lives, our world, and our future, we can do extraordinary things and live our most amazing dreams.
So you can see, hold on, sorry. We have begun to implement this at Maysville, and our teachers and our staff have embraced this curriculum and this program, and it is shown through our students with their work, with their goals, with things that they are presenting in the hallways, but also through discussions through counselors. When they meet with their special, with Ms. Maddox, they revisit these goals. And also with administration and with the custodians, that we repeat this same language and we talk to the students with using these mindsets. And so it's great that we're all on the same page. So we're going to show to you right now our 7 Mindset Portal. So this comes along with our curriculum. All of our teachers and staff have an access to it. You can see that the program is divided by age group. In elementary, there's a K2 and a 3-5 curriculum. And it builds every year. This year we're in the Remember and Understand. Next year they will apply and analyze the 7 mindsets. And the third year they evaluate and create. So after the third year, for example, for our kindergartners, then they'll go into the 3-5 curriculum. So it's hitting as age appropriate, so it grows with the students. This is an example of what our teachers use to implement this on Mondays during our curriculum time. You can see that each mindset's divided into 4 weeks, so it will take us through the year. Every lesson also follows the same kind of, they introduce it, there's a warm-up activity, there's a video that is age appropriate that goes along with the mindset, and then there's also an activity at the end. Our teachers also can print the lesson plan, which has the questions that goes along with the curriculum. And then there's also a resource hub for parents and for teachers to implement and to use during conferences with parents, or if they get sent, if they need some time to reevaluate maybe a behavior or to look at a goal, then it gives teachers additional resources. There's also a blog on there for teachers to look at to see how other schools in the country are implementing this, and we also receive newsletters once a month that talk about what schools are doing to implement this curriculum. Our goal for this in the future is to continue to implement this at Maysville, but also to start integrating it more with our families and connecting this, because we believe at Maysville we're here to change this is our community and this is our future. And by doing this social emotional, we're teaching not only our students, but we're also helping them at home to deal with the crisis and things that are coming up, and also to change the language as they grow older and to give them goals also to look at. So the last thing we'd like to show you is Michelle Galloway, one of our 4th grade teachers, introduced through the 7 Mindsets, found a mantra for her students to do every day. And they do this every morning, right after the tardy bell. And the great thing about this with her students is that you also see this during the day when they encourage one another, they're positive toward each other, and it's one of the power of yets into her day. Okay, we're going to have to show it at the end. It's not pulling up. But we just want to thank the board for allowing us to implement this and initiate this at Maysville this school year. It has already made an impact onto our students and our staff. It's also made an impact on our paras, and you can see it throughout our building on how it's changing our school culture. So we appreciate being able to use this platform this year.
Thank you. One thing that I'll share about the 7 Mindsets that's just been so powerful for us, we want our students to be independent. We want them to take ownership of their learning. And one thing that the 7 Mindsets has enabled us to already do that we're seeing big changes with is have our students be their most important advocate. Our students are faced with so many challenges in school, outside of school. When we think about how social media is changing and shaping the future of our kids, we want for them to seek their most important thoughts. The things that they believe in themselves needs to come from them. It doesn't need to come from likes that they've gotten on Facebook. It doesn't need to come from those outside of them telling them what they can and what they can't do. It needs to come from within. And so this has been something that's been really powerful for us, and we're thinking about how successful it is now. We're thinking how incredibly successful it's going to be for our kids and how they're going to be able to be advocates for themselves as well. Speaking of our amazing students, I have 4 phenomenal 5th graders. If you guys would come on over, and as they're coming up, they have something that they'd like to share. They've been integrating their research skills, the standards that they have in 5th grade, along with informational writing and what's required of us for career readiness. And so Miss Bridgewater, she would be up here presenting right now, but I'm going to present on her behalf simply because she's not feeling so well and is a little hoarse and sick this evening. Along with our 5th grade teachers, Ashley Childress and Beverly Burns, they have been working with these students, and they have prepared for you a presentation, and they're also going to be doing some narration and telling you a little bit about careers they've researched and maybe what they think about this career after they've done the research to see if this is something they really want to do. So I'm going to turn things over. First, we are going to have Jordan Stinchcomb, and then behind her, James Weeks, Chloe Lawrence, and then finally, at the very end back there, I'm sure he's right around the corner, I can't see, Jane Newbaugh. And so there you guys are going to hold the microphone for each other. Is that right? That's James.
Hello, my name is Jordan Stinchcomb, and I am in Miss Burns' 5th grade class. I chose to do my project on becoming a teacher. I've always wanted to be a teacher, but was not sure of all the steps needed to become one. Now here's a short video explaining a little bit why I want to become a teacher. I want to be an elementary school teacher because I really like helping kids. One of my inspirations was my 4th grade teacher, Miss Vandenberg. She was very creative and took the time to understand me and my other classmates. Another reason I would like to become a teacher is because I'm very good at writing, reading, and math. I enjoy school, and I want to be in a position where I can help students be successful and enjoy learning as much as I do. This career is part of the Education and Training Career Cluster. Now let me tell you a little about this career. What does a teacher do? Teaching. Teaching is when you help people understand about things they need to know in life. Teaching is also when you help students know that they matter and are loved. Forming relationships. Forming relationships is by understanding your students is an important part of teaching. If a teacher has a good relationship with a student, they can better understand how to teach them. Lesson prep and grading. Lesson prep means you prepare what you are going to teach the next day or a couple of weeks. Grading means that you grade your students' homework or test. Learning. This means that even when you are a teacher, you still learn new things every day. It could be something that your students tell you, or it could be something that you learned in a teacher meeting. Work environment. In a school, when you're teaching, you're in a school, right? Right. Normally, you are in a school when you teach, unless you are on an outdoors field trip. Then you'll be teaching outside. My own classroom. Although I work inside school, most of my day will be spent in a classroom with students. Most often with people. Being a teacher means that you work with students or other adults. However, you're sometimes alone, like when you're grading or planning lessons. Salary and job outlook. The average salary for a teacher is $45,000 to $74,000. It is such a wide range because teachers have different levels of experience and education. It also depends on what state and country you live in. A lot of teachers get underpaid. Job outlook. The job outlook is 7%. A job outlook is what percentage of chance you get of getting that job. 7% is about average, which means I have a pretty good chance at becoming to be a teacher. How do I become one? Being a teacher requires a bachelor's degree. My first choice in colleges is the University of Georgia. I want to live at home while I go to college, so my tuition will be $26,404 per year. UGA's website says that the average GPA of incoming students is a 4.0, which is perfect. Advanced degrees. I can add to my education with the master's or doctorate degree. This usually gives you an increase in pay. Lifelong learners. Teachers are lifelong learners because they are required to constantly attend training to learn the most current way of teaching. My thoughts about this career. Pros. Teaching. Helping to shape the future by teaching others makes me feel good about this career choice. Helping others. I'll be able to go home at the end of my workday knowing that I have helped someone understand that they can do anything that they put their mind to. Cons. Salary. Teachers work many hours at home. They also spend a lot of their own money to decorate their classrooms and buy supplies. No time for fun. Teachers are required to meet certain standards, and it is hard to just take time and have fun with their class, such as doing a craft or movement activity. Other things. Dual enrollment program. I would like to attend the dual enrollment program in high school so I can get a head start on my college career. This means that I might be able to get an advanced degree before I start teaching. I hope you enjoy my presentation.
Hi, my name is James Hicks. When I heard about this project, I decided I wanted to research becoming a diesel mechanic. I've always been interested in this job, but I wasn't sure how to become one. Here is a video telling you why I chose this career. When I was given this assignment, it was easy to decide what I wanted to do research on. I want to be a diesel mechanic. The reason I want to be a diesel mechanic is because when I was little, I enjoyed going with my dad and fixing things. This is a job where I will be able to enjoy working with my hands and fixing large equipment. I already fix things around the farm, and I love working on the big equipment we have. In this career, I can do something I enjoy while earning a living. Diesel mechanics are part of the technical career cluster. Let me share some information about this career. When someone needs their machine fixed, my job is to discover what is wrong with the equipment. This involves looking at the engine and other things to find the problem. I have to be able to talk with the clients and ask them what is wrong with their machines. Once I have identified the problem, I won't have to tell them how much it will cost to repair and order the parts needed to fix it. Most of my time will be spent in a workshop because this is where I will have to make the repairs to the equipment. I will need lots of tools and special equipment to make the repairs needed on my customers' machines. I will need an office to sit and talk with the client. I will also need to complete paperwork and place orders for parts needed from my office. The average diesel mechanic makes $65,430 a year. If I live in an area with good demand, I would make more money than the average diesel mechanic. In this area, diesel mechanics can make a very good living. The job outlook for diesel mechanics is expected to have grown by 9% by 2026. This means I have a better chance of getting a job than some other careers. Athens Technical College, it will cost approximately $15,000, 2 to 3 years of classes. After all the research I have done, I would still like to pursue this career. It will be a lot of hard work, but it will be worth it once I get finished and have my own business.
Hi, my name is Chloe Lawrence, and I'm in Miss Burns' 5th grade class. When I heard about this assignment, I really wanted to learn about becoming a photographer. Now please watch a short video explaining why I chose to learn about this career.
I want to be a photographer because I love using cameras and taking selfies of myself every day. I became inspired to become a photographer by a man named Jordan Matter. His photographs are works of art and his talent is obvious when you see them. He has his own YouTube channel, and that's where I get some of my ideas from. The images behind me are a small example of some of his work. My career is in the Arts and Communication cluster. Now I would like to share with you what I learned. Travel. Becoming a photographer might give me the opportunity to travel around the world. I might be able to see different states and countries while traveling. If I become a landscape or nature photographer, I can take pictures in these different places. Famous people. While I travel, I will get to meet new people, maybe even famous people I could photograph. Gallery shows. While I'm a photographer, I will get to display my work in different galleries. People will be able to go there and see all of my different creations. Maybe good ideas of what people want me to do next. Indoors or outdoors. Sometimes I might be inside my own studio or a gallery. At other times, I might get to work outside taking pictures of nature and different landscapes, maybe with people. There are times when I might be working with people taking pictures of them. I might even have an assistant who will work with me, helping to hold my camera bag that has all of my supplies inside. On average, a photographer will get $33,000 per year. A more famous photographer whose name is well known in the world will earn more money than an average photographer will get. Declining demand. This career has a declining demand for jobs. It will have declined by -6%, so it will be hard for me to find a job when I get out of school. The college I would like to attend is the University of Georgia in Athens. Their tuition for an in-state student is currently $26,404 per year if you live at home. Their website shows an average GPA of 4.0 to be accepted. I could also go to a technical college and take different classes. Degrees. I would first get a bachelor's degree in arts and communication and then go on to more advanced degrees if I wanted. My thoughts about this career. In my research, I learned that some of the pros of being a photographer are that I would get to travel to new places and see the world while enjoying the work. However, the cons are that I would really miss seeing my family and it would be very expensive to travel so much. After taking all of this into consideration, I decided that I might make photography my hobby and explore other career options that would keep me closer to home. Thank you for watching my presentation.
Hi, my name is Jaden Hooper. When I heard about this career, I decided I wanted to research becoming a poultry farmer. I have always been interested in this career, but didn't know a lot about it. Here's a video telling you why I chose this career. The reason I would like to be a poultry farmer is because it is a job where I will create and run my own business. Running my own business is important to me because I want to be my own boss. The second reason I want to be a poultry farmer is because I have always wanted to have a great job that I can do every day and be happy while doing it. I also want a job where I can learn new things all the time and increase my knowledge. I believe being a poultry farmer will provide me with a good life. Poultry farming is part of the agriculture career cluster. Now let me tell you a little bit about this career. Early hours. Early hours are very important because you have to check on your chickens and feed them and make sure they have plenty of water every morning. The good thing about starting early is that you might finish your work early in the day and have some time in the evening to do other things. Working with animals. Working with animals is another important thing because you have to work very hard to keep them healthy and clean. That is how you make a lot of money being a chicken farmer because you can't sell an unhealthy chicken. Raising chickens. Raising chickens means I will need many acres of land to build chicken houses on. The more chicken houses I have, the more chickens and eggs I can raise. Office. I will need an office because I have to come up with prices and how many chickens and eggs I will have to sell to make a profit. The office is where I will do all of the paperwork to manage my business. I can expect to earn $69,620 per year on average. The more chickens I raise, the more money I will be able to make. The outlook for this job is that there will be a slight decline in the number of jobs available through the year 2026. I still hope to become a poultry farmer. I'll be expecting to go to UGA for college and be having to pay $26,404 per year to attend. Average GPA to be accepted 4.0. In order to get a bachelor's degree, I will have to get 4 years of learning at the University of Georgia. I like working hard, and this career definitely requires a lot of hard work to be successful. Yes, I still want to do this because it is something I am interested in and can enjoy doing when I grow up. It will make me happy because this career is something that I have been wanting to do since I was little. And I really love chickens, cows, and a lot of other farm animals also.
Wow, wasn't that amazing? Oh, very good. Board, I don't know if you guys would like to go back up front, or are we able to show the, okay. In conclusion of 7 Mindsets, this is an excerpt from all the way over here across the way, Michelle Galloway's 4th grade. Her students do a mantra each morning. And over here to the right, we've got the things that you'll hear Ms. Galloway saying, and then what the students are saying, because they're really saying it strongly. You'll hear it as they go through.
Hey students, what if it's too hard? What if it's too rough? What if it's too tough? What if you're just too young? What if you just can't do it? What if you're just not good at it? Why? Because we believe in you. Believe in yourself. Tell us why.
And that's how they start their day. And you can't tell me, you can't sit here and tell me that these students don't believe that in themselves. And that's one thing that we're hopeful that our 7 Mindsets helps us do here at Maysville. And so we thank you very much for giving us that time to share, but it's very much who we're about, what we're about, and the things that we do here. And on behalf of Maysville, thank you for coming and allowing us to do that.
Dr. Archibald and outstanding students, as well as the Miss Galloway and all the other teachers who are here, Miss Burns, and lots of outstanding, amazing people that we treasure at Maysville. Thank you for having us. We're so proud of the work that you're doing, and look forward to what continues to go on here. You know, a lot of times when we do curriculums like that, folks will ask, well, how do you give up instructional time to do something like that? I think it's real important that Dr. Archibald didn't talk about it too much, but the academic performance her students are also yielding matches what's happening in the classroom. So she's building that culture, she's building that pride, she's building that confidence, and those kids are achieving. So shout out, congratulations, and thank you very, very much. We're proud of that leadership. That's all the items we have on the superintendent's comments.
All right, and I'd just like to say thank you too. It's always a pleasure to be in schools and get to see these young people and see what they're learning and doing, and it makes our future very bright, and so we're very grateful. All right, using the consent agenda, items 1 through 8, do I have a motion that we approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, do I have a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, and a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, Very good. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.